Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen. You've just joined us for the Formula One League, round 11 at Zandvoort. I'm your host Shane Gilfeather, and tonight we'll be racing 75 laps of the Zandvoort 2020 version of the circuit, which has the high banking on turns, the last turn on the main straight. We've just jumped in the qualify session. We've got about 8 minutes to go. And let's just look at some race stats. So, Circuit Park Zandvoort in the Netherlands. It's a 75 lap race tonight with 4.259 kilometres per lap. Now that's the new distance of the upgraded circuit for Formula One. It's slightly shorter than the original previous to the upgrade. No current lap record, as we haven't raced here in the current spec cars, so that'll be to be announced as of next year in real life, so we're looking forward to seeing that. Tonight we'll give you a show on what to expect next year when they do go there. It is quite a tight circuit and the times up front are very, very tough. As you can see from our calendar, we are at the Dutch Grand Prix, we'll call it, round 11. And we're nearing the end in the second half of our season. So we've only got about 4 or 5 tracks to go before the end of the season. So everyone selected to do the Dutch Grand Prix instead of Nürburgring. So here we are. Okay, the current standings as it is, as we see. Okay, so we've got Scott Flack leading the championship in P1. Thomas Foster second. Hillel Cesar in the Cooler Master Racing. He couldn't make it with us tonight. He had electrical issues. Marty Porter also couldn't be with us tonight, so they'll probably drop down the order. We've got Michael in P5, Scott Fitzsimons P6, yours truly in P7. Jack Song climbing up the ladder each round as he climbed up another spot after last round. He's currently in P8. JC Richards P9 and David Borg in P10. Okay, so we'll go live, see who's posting the mostest. So I've got Adrian Sarkis, last year's champion. He's back this year, second race of the year for him. I think he won the Bahrain circuit round 2. Thomas Foster's currently got the fastest lap of the race, quali so far with a 104.991. He's not really, he's probably on his outlap now. Not many from the timing stats are out there. As you can see, the pit exits are quite tough. It's quite a tight turn, and on cold tyres you cannot take the first couple of corners flat out, otherwise you'll go straight ahead. The tracks rub it up quite a fair bit, so the grip level is pretty phenomenal. Can't remember what the top speed is, probably about a 315, 330 down the main straight with DRS, and there is a couple of DRS zones around the circuit. It looks like a detection zone there with a short bursted activation zone just about there. Okay, so we'll go on board, coming onto the main straight. You can see the new banking. You've got to stay low but let it drift out high to gain maximum speed. We'll try and see what his speed is, or current speed. Definitely a 104, 104.8 is the target time to grab pole, but that's a perfect lap. We see Thomas Foster just clipping the inside sausage there and launching him into the fence on the outside. That puts him back in the fence. Currently P2, Adrian Sarkis in the Red Bull Max Verstappen colours. He looks like he's going to grab, or coming onto the main straight, hopefully to grab pole if he's quick on the third sector there. Purple PB and another PB. So not quite good enough for pole, but he stays in P2. Championship leaders in pit lane. He's leaving it to the last minute. We've only got 2.5 minutes to go. I've got our Kiwis rejoining us for our Formula 1. They joined for our GT3 race last night, and they're back again in the Formula 1 league. So they've been practicing quite well, and they're all up the front as well. So we've got Kieran cut fourth in P4 at the moment in the quali. Liam Earl in the Kvyat Red Bull. We've got Stuart Patterson in the other Haas. He's currently in P6, but he's not out on track. Michael Denellen on the scenic route in Netherlands. Bryce Cross, him in the Karen. Doesn't look like, looks like he's on his outlap at the moment. Dan Holohan, real life driver, Formula 4 champion. He's also in a Red Bull and teaming up with Adrian Sarkis tonight. Yeah, he hasn't been in the sim for a while. He is a member of Racecentre and does race with us, but it's been a while, and this is the first time he's hit R Factor 2, so he's just getting acclimatised. Jack Song, after his good effort last round at Sochi, he's coming late to the session and he's finding it difficult. Definitely improving each lap. He's sitting in P10 at the moment with a 111.8. He'll need to improve on that to get up the front and get a good result. Troy Jaslowski back again. He's in the Racing Point livery. He's teammates with Jack Song. So Troy also got his best result last night. Fourth result in third race of the GT3 League last night. So he's back for the Formula 1. Okay, this is going to be quite tight as everyone's out posting the fastest lap towards the end of the race. There's only 1 second, so if you're not on your fastest lap at the moment, then it's all over. Looks like Thomas has blown his opening sector, so that's not going to be a hot one for him. Got Adrian Sarkis. Yeah, here we go. Opening sectors, purple. I'm sure we're going to see another purple. No, just off on the second sector, but looks like he's quite even and on target for a pole. Coming last turn, he's just clipped the sand going high, and he's going to pull it up. And he'll be happy with front row of the grid. Scott Flack also in the pits, so he'll start from P3. Michael Denellen still out on track. We'll drive with him in the Alfa Romeo as he comes onto the main straight. And he'll be starting in P8. Dan Holohan P9, Jack Song P10, and Jaslowski in P11. Okay, so that concludes the qualifier session. So in pole, we've got Thomas Foster, great effort with a 104.991. P2 is Adrian Sarkis with a 105 flat. Scott Flack, second row of the grid, P3. Kieran Cut fourth in the Haas. We'll be starting in P4. Liam Earl, P5. Stuart Patterson in the second Haas. We'll be starting on the third row of the grid. Bryce Cross in P7. Michael Denellen starting P8. Dan Holohan P9. Jack Song P10 and Troy Zaslowski P11. Okay. So the guys are just going to stretch their legs for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back with the start of the race.
Whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Delete. Live. Okay, so welcome back. The guys are just gritting up at the moment. It's going to be a formation lap. Okay, so the guys have got okay, looks like we've hit the standing start. So we're just going to have to reset the server. We'll be back within a second. Apologise for the delays, ladies and gentlemen. See. Delete. 5 in 5. Wicked, wicked. In the thing. Yeah. I think I gotta cut this guy off. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. He's not from here. Sorry, and he's only just joined. Okay, thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We've just had to reset the grid, unfortunately, as we need to set the formation lap in. We've got a couple of guys currently just warming up their tyres. On screen's Liam Earl in the Red Bull. He's selected softs to start the race in. Behind him, it looks like Patterson. He's going to try his luck. No, he's also on softs. Looks like the whole field's starting on softs. This is a tight track, and it is hard to get these tyres up to temperature. Because we've reset the server, looks like the track is gone green again. We've lost our rubber. So I'm just letting the guys know to take it easy in the first turn. No one's going to be heroes. If they do, they'll be hero to zero pretty quickly. So I got Tom Foster leading him out along the bend around for the first time, coming up to the main straight. He's going to assume his position on pole. Next to him will be Adrian Sarkis on the inside. Not really sure whether that's the best position to start from, unless he's going to get half a car length ahead. So this will be quite interesting. Good battle for the front. So just waiting for the guys to get into position. They've all got their visual cues. That's a great shot of the grid. Okay, so 75 laps. We've got the green light. We've got a good jump start. One of the Haas's had a bit of a slow start, but it's Thomas Foster resuming P1, and Scott Flax got up into P2 already. And we've got Patterson in the Haas in P3. So Sarkis has dropped back into P4. So he's either jumped the start or had clutch issues off the line, as he's now battling Patterson in P3. Goes up the inside. Thomas Foster clearing a bit of room, and Scott Flack getting out in front, but Sarkis is going to chase him down pretty soon. It's all about tyre management in this track. The grip's not there as it was in practice and quali. But Foster's doing a great job just to keep composure. He's been racing most of the season, so he knows what to expect with these cars. As we ride on board with Scott Flack into the final turn onto the main straight, the new banking only gives it one line through there now. You don't really want to go around the outside, otherwise you'll end up in the fence. These cars have got plenty of downforce, so I don't think they'll have any issue going around those curves. This section's quite tight into a heavy braking second gear corner. Sarkis decides to start on mediums as the front two are on softer compounds. They're probably going to pull away, but Sarkis is going to be out on track a bit longer. So he's going to work on the strategy. Michael Donnellan's moved up a couple of spots into P5 at the moment. So we can see the positions gained. Doesn't look like it's showing us that at the moment. Got Michael just going wide there, and that's allowing Earl to get up in the slipstream. Should be able to tuck in there and get a good run up the main straight. DRS should be active very soon. He'll go on board with Earl. Guys have done a great job selling in. No real major accidents here. As I say that, commentator's curse. Liam Earl just hits the tyre barrier. That gives Dan Holohan another free spot. Bryce Cross in the McLaren, he's further back. Liam Earl, as I said before. Kieran Cutforth, even though he qualified well, he's back down in P9, and Troy Cieslawski struggling there in P10. I can't see Jack Song anywhere. I think he's retired from the race. We'll go back up front. Foster commanding lead in front of Flack. He's within the DRS zone, but whether that's got any real advantage around this circuit, we'll find out as Foster posts the fastest time, 107.881, a couple of seconds off the quali time. Now we can see the gap, Foster just ahead. Flack closing in under brakes, but Thomas Foster getting out on the corner exit. Scott Flack's on his floor at the moment. I'm trying to learn all the corner names so I can give it some relevance, but they're all in Dutch, so I'm not going to learn Dutch tonight, I don't think. Okay, 4 laps in and we're on to the main straight again. Gap's still hanging around the 0.9, 0.8 mark. Sarkis falling a bit back on those mediums. Donnellan up into P4, doing a great job with those softs. Stuart Patterson, the best of the Kiwis, in P5. Just trying to hunt down Michael Donnellan, as you can see in front. So he goes into turn 1. Bit of a sharper turn 1, I think, since the new off-road. And this section's banked bit higher as well, I think. A few improvements around the circuit. As we see Patterson closing in on Denellen there. Only 1.1 second gap. Scott Black posting the fastest lap of the race with a 107.688. Times are definitely coming down. Trying to see where the other battles are at the moment. Bryce Cross trying to get in the mix with Denellen and Patterson in P4-5. Just got to keep his head down and pump out those consistent laps. It is relatively short lap, one of the shortest laps of the season with just over 1 minute, similar to Austria lap times. Dan Holohan doing well. He's on the back of cut fourth just passing Holohan. He's in the second Red Bull, the Albon livery. Overshooting that corner here. Really hard to get a good rhythm through these sections. You've got to really take it a lot slower. This is quite a fast section of the race. We'll just see if we can see his current speed. Gives us some idea of what sort of speeds they are going through these corners. Up to probably about 300 as we brake heavy into the small chicane. Dan doing well to get through that section. Just running a bit wide there. Held it quite well. It's easy to lose that as soon as the car hits the gravel. You got absolutely no traction at all. It's like cutballs. Moved up the road quite quickly as he's already around the circuit. Got past cut fourth and now chasing the back of Cross, but we've got Patterson and Denellen together. We can see him in the mirrors. See when we get lower in the cockpit. Not too sure if there's a draft advantage there with that gap. But definitely it's a good carrot to be chasing around the circuit. You see he's gaining on the last corner, so he's just got to be patient, get the good run out of here and pull out under the draft. But it's a relatively short main straight, so you really got to be on the tail to get any advantage. As you can see, as Denellen moves under brakes, not a good idea to be doing that at the end of into turn one. Lucky there's no damage on the cars tonight, otherwise Patterson would have lost the front wing. Definitely doing his best to keep on the back of Denellen. He knows he's just got to get a good run onto the main straight, and then he's got the position. The P4. Looks like Foster's posted the fastest lap of the race while watching this battle. 107.609, so the times are definitely coming down. And he's lapping similar lap times to Scott Black in P2. But the gap's still sitting at about 1.1 seconds. Sarka's definitely suffering on those medium tyres. Looks like Holohan's pulled out. As we can see, Patterson pulling out of the draft. We've got a much slower car. Michael Denellen again trying to come around the outside of turn one. Denellen drops back down at P6 as Cross gets past on that altercation there with Okay, so there's a bit of confusion with the drivers. We've got a slower car on circuit trying to give way, but he's just getting in the way. This is a difficult track to stay on off the racing line while still trying to be competitive. He's doing the best he can, but this track's not ideal for that situation. As we're back up the front with Foster and Flack. Foster definitely pulling out that gap now at a 1.8 second lead in front of Flack, but I'd say Flack's just sitting there at the moment. See what the pit strategies are. I'm not too sure whether all four tyres are loading up equally or burning off, I should say. It doesn't seem like a track that's going to be killing one tyre over the other, so it's quite an evenly balanced circuit. So it means they'll probably stay out on track a bit longer so they can balance the car a lot better. They've also got brake bias at the fingertips to help them control the car. We see Trojaslowski spinning off once again. Okay, so the gaps are widening up at the moment. Already Earl and Czeslowski are a lap down. We've got Cross close on the back of Denellen. Coming around the back of the circuit now. Very flat circuit, so it's hard to use the camera of the course to help the car turn. The car's got to do all the work for the driver. Okay, so Sarkis is trying to come in to change tyres, but it sounds like he's got a pit lane penalty, speeding in pit lane. We'll find out when he crosses this green line. And there it is, a pit lane penalty. I'm not too sure if it's a drive-through or a stop and go. If it's speeding, it's possibly a 10-second stop and go. That's really going to affect him as Patterson moves up into P3 during that transaction. He's going to have to come in again. So Sarkis has got to fight hard to hopefully get up into P3. Still on board with Stuart Patterson, the first of the Kiwis in P3. Third step of the podium, coming in hot to turn one. Really got to be patient turning that corner. You can't get on the gas too early, otherwise the car's just going to push off to the wrong side of the road. The banking here is really helping the cars turn in a lot better and getting on the gas a lot early, especially with the downforce. And this section here is just flat chat. Pedal to the metal as they go around the dunes around the back of the circuit. Not a bad job from Stuart. He's hitting his apexes on the car down so he can get the car to turn in early. As you can see, if you don't, you're off the outside. Okay, so Saka's driving angry after that pit lane penalty. He's posted the fastest lap of the race with a 1:07.2. Definitely on the fresher tyres helps. He's on the back of Patterson already. I don't think he served that penalty, so he's got to smash a few laps out as Patterson struggled to get the car to turn in, as we saw earlier. Those tyres not helping him much. Saka's definitely back on the charge, but he's still got a drive-through to deal with yet. Bryce Cross back in P6. Quite comfortable, got some clear out on track, so it's up to him how fast he can go, no distractions. Okay, Saka's back in to serve his penalty. Looks like a stop and go. That's going to hurt him even more. That's a 10-second wait time, plus going through the lane. Out he goes. Flashing blue lights means there's an oncoming car as he rejoins in P6, down in P7. Then you can see cut for, oh, I hope he doesn't spin there. Takes on the inside. This should be Max Verstappen's home race, so everyone's cheering on Verstappen livery. You can hear the crowd through the sand dunes. All the grandstands are coloured yellow, orange I should say. Dutch colours all cheering on Max Verstappen. Got a bit of work to do. He is in P6, so he's going to be coming on the back of Bryce Cross any second. Or is that Cross on the back of Denellen? We'll just cut back to, here we go. Denellen going out wide. But Cross quite strong through that section there. Cross definitely earned. The leaders come into pits for his first pit. What lap is that? That's lap 17. So it looks like we're going to see about 4 pit stops tonight, if that's any indication. If Flack's 26 seconds back, it looks like he's already pitted. Okay, Saka's struggling to get around the lap traffic. Looks like Sarkis might receive another penalty. As we don't like intentional charging. Troy's doing the best he can to stay out of everyone's way, but Sarkis getting frustrated in P6. So Flack's back up the front after that change of tyres. We'll see if we can see who's pitted up until now. Okay, so we can see Sarkis has pit twice. One was for the Thomas Foster falling back down the grid, and he stopped on the side of the circuit. Not too sure what's happened there. Doesn't seem to be moving. So I think he's stuck on the final corner of the race. Just see if he's still in the... Looks like he's lost connection. So we go back to the front of the race at Scott Flack. Out in front, Patterson in P2. Okay, so Flack quite comfortable out in front with Patterson in P2. First of the Kiwis, doing a great job in the Haas. And here comes Sarkis. He's already up into P4 on the back of Denellen. So again, it is hard to pass because the driving line definitely changes, which makes it a thin section, no wide braking zones to really take a dive on. So I'd say Sarkis has just got to keep... just trying to stick it where it doesn't really belong, because that door's going to close really quickly. Trying to go around the outside of Denellen. It's side by side. Denellen's not going to make the issue. Or is he? No. Sarkis has got the job done. Denellen just hitting the dirt there. And that's Sarkis back up into P3. So just watch the timing sheets as he'll chase down Patterson in P2. As we see Denellen going straight in the pits for his set of tyres. See if he stays with the softs for his second stint. This will probably be one of two more pit stop. He stays on softs. He's got a clear run onto the main straight, so he'll rejoin in P5 at the moment. He's really got to take it easy coming out of pit lane. Definitely don't want to go too hot through this corner. He does a great job there. Okay, so who else is out there? Foster DNFing due to electrical issues from team radio, so he's had to pull out of the race, unfortunately. That's given Scott Flack free rein up the front as he's now coming to lap cross in P4. Cross can just stay in the draft and pull him further away from Denellen, who's 8.6 seconds behind him. Not too sure why, but Sarkis has come back in the pits for another set of tyres. Probably trying to get back on the same pit strategy as the rest of the field. But that's just going to cost him more time as he's dropped back into P4. He's a lap down from the leader, but that's probably because he's spent a couple of stints through pit lane. He'll get that back. We see Patterson going in for his set. So definitely the 20 lap mark is probably 40 lap mark is where we'll see the second run of pit stops. Sarkis has regained P3 already, and he'll probably get close to the back of Patterson, but no, Patterson's already coming out of the pit lane, and Sarkis is on the other side of the circuit, so there's a good 20-second difference there. Crowd dying off as they're losing confidence in Verstappen taking the win for tonight, because Scott Flack's got too much of a lead at this stage, over a minute and over a lap in front. So it looks like Black is the only one on the lead lap. Being a short circuit, that's expected. As we see Patterson, the only driver still on the lead lap. Everyone else a lap down. But as soon as Flack pits again, that'll bring everyone back onto the lead lap, I'd say. Sarkis definitely leading the charge in the pit stops, 3 already for the race, and we see Troy Czeslowski getting a penalty, probably speeding in pit lane or maybe cut track. It's very tight on the cut tracks here at Zandvoort. Just go for a lap with Scott Flack. Braking deep at 270 kilometres an hour. Sarkis definitely reducing that fastest lap of the race with a 106.795. Fresh tyres really helping him. So we're back with the leader, Scott Flack, going around the dune section. You can see Scott holding tight to the line, although he's gone a bit wide on that apex. That's kept the speed up. He's on the fresh tyres, so that's expected. Once they wear off, they're going to find it really hard to get the cars to turn in. Maybe the fronts are going to be the tyres that really wear out before the rears, because there's no real opportunity to get the gas down from a low speed corner. We roll onto the main straight. Surely going to get up over 300 kilometres an hour. We'll see if he gets up 320, 317 as he brakes heavy into turn 1. Got a 50-second gap over P2. The one to watch will be Sarkis and Patterson. Sarkis definitely posting fastest lap. His last lap was a 106.853 and Patterson was a 109. So he's chewing about 2.5 seconds a lap there. So we should see them up about the next 6-7 laps, I'd say. Looks like Bryce Cross has retired in the McLaren from P6. So it's a shame he's done that. He is looking good for a top 5 finish there. And that's Black, and looks like Sarkis behind him. Let me just follow Sarkis, see if that's him. Yes, that's Sarkis trying to unlap himself. Scott's just fine to let him go. We're only a third of the way through, first 25 laps down. So Sarkis has got the rest of the race to unlap himself and come onto the back of Scott Flack. All Flack has to do is keep Sarkis in his view, and then he knows he's safe. Got cut fourth on the back of Denellen for P4. Definitely closing in tight there. That's cost him around the corner. You see him getting close under brakes, but he hasn't got that fluidity through the corner to gain on. So we can see the DRS activated. You can see on the green lights, really short DRS zone down the back there. Just on the side of the LCD panel, there's 3 lights on either side. When it turns orange, it means the DRS is ready, and when it turns green, it means they've actually activated the DRS. So there we go, it's green again. So we've got DRS active up to 330 kilometers an hour. We know that we get 315 without the DRS, so definitely huge advantage down the main straight. It's a pity it's not another 500 meters longer, as we can see change of positions. He's just got to get closer around the last part of the corner, but as we know with these Formula Ones, as soon as you get close, you lose your front downforce, and the front aero is too disturbed, so you can't really get the car to turn in. And it's really important to get around the last couple of corners in tight to get a good run down the main straight. So unless you know how to relax the front and come in at the right time, you're just going to be stuck behind the driver in front. As we can see, Cutforth really struggling to stay on the back of Denellen. It's overshot that corner. Probably receive a cut track for that one. So third of the way through it, Scott Flack, Stuart Patterson, Adrian Sarkis, who's just unlapped himself, so it's now 3 cars on the lead lap. Michael Denellen a lap down. Kieran Cutforth in P5, Liam Earl P6 in the Red Bull. Bryce Cross to DNF. He'll probably drop back after Troy Cieslawski comes around for another lap, and he'll claim P7. Unfortunately, Foster and Holohan had to withdraw with electrical issues. Not really able to see the position gain. I'm not too sure why that feature's not working tonight. The number of stops is definitely working, and gap to next. So we're on board with Patterson in P2. Sorry, this is Kieran Cutforth in the other halves. Just got him mixed up there. He takes a final corner at 280 kilometres an hour up to 317. By the time we get to the end of the straight, 316. Sarkis deficit to Patterson in P2 is down 8.6 seconds. And he's definitely lapping about a second a sector quicker than Patterson. So I did say about 6-7 laps. We've gone from 18 seconds down to 8 now, so that's definitely reduced, and we'll catch back with them when Sarkis gets a bit close. But meanwhile, we're on board with Cutforth, looking at the back of, let me see who that is, just in front. That looks like Troy Cieslawski, struggling to stay on the circuit. Full speed, full throttle. Not too sure how much this circuit is full throttle at the moment. I'd say about 70%, 70-80%, somewhere in that vicinity. Still on board with Cutforth. We're going to go to Michael Denellen in P4 in the Alfa Romeo. He's got some clear air in front and behind, so his best option is to put his head down and chase Patterson. As once Sarkis claims P2, it'll be Patterson dropping back to P3. Goes a bit wide into turn 1, but he gets it turned in pretty well. Nice tight line here. We've got on board. Full speed 297 down the back end of the circuit. those last two corners really require you to be quite patient and reduce the speed just to get the car turned in. Naturally, because the track is so wide, you want to go for it, but those two turns really close in. If you're carrying too much speed, you're not going to make it. The Sarkis comes in for another set of tyres. Wow, he's really chewing those tyres. That means he's dropping back, further back past Patterson. That's about his 4th pit stop so far now. So 3 more trips down the lane, which I'm averaging about 20 seconds, 25 seconds for him. So it's giving a lot of time away, but he's still in P3, so definitely cutting the fastest lap of the race, and he is actually holding that extra point at the moment with a 106.795. Scott Flack out in front, he's fastest at 107.578, so we've got a 0.8 difference. And we're not sure what his last lap was as he came into the pit lane. Scott Flack coming up behind, I'm guessing Patterson. As Patterson goes by, allowing Scott Flack to go through cleanly. Must be close to an airport, as I didn't think flights were allowed, but obviously in Europe maybe they are. Just over 300 kilometres down the back. These cars have better traction, so it's not as bad, but in the GT3 car, we see a Haas just parked on the side of the road. It's either Cutforth's, yep. So he's gone to, Cutforth's gone to hards, but that's really cost him. He's trying to turn around in a safe time. That's cost him a bit of time as he's dropped back down to P5. He's really going to struggle to get those tyres up to temp. He wants to run longer, but the compound probably not going to help him with the grip. As you can see the understeer there, not really going to get the temp in those tyres. As we see Sarkis with another pit lane penalty. Just going to quickly see if he's serving those penalties correctly or not. Okay, so it looks like Saka's having some difficulties. Received a few off tracks, which is causing a couple of penalties there. So he's come through. It's not really an advantage for him to go to the section of track which is causing the incidents, but they're the rules, and if he keeps cutting it, then he's going to get the message and the penalty. So that's why we're seeing Sarkis come through the lane more times than desired, as he really wanted to win this race, but Scott Flack too strong out front, just doing the job. So Sarkis up to P2. Patterson staying firm. Looks like he's gone to mediums in P3. And Sarkis serving his penalty, which has put Patterson back up into P2 as I talk. But Sarkis will probably come back out and get on a charge once again, as that must be cut forth coming around turn 1 on the mediums. Should really let that Red Bull go. If it doesn't come in front, and there he has. See that front end not really working for him. We've got a Red Bull in this. That looks like Liam Earl in P6. Not too sure what happened there. He's also on the hards. It's sort of semi-medium hard compound. So I'm not too sure whether he's going to get grip out of his. Got a better driving style to get the heat into his tyres. He's not doing too bad, to be honest. He's staying on the desired line. So a 310, 317, 315 as we break into turn 1. Oh, and he's just clipped it. I thought I heard the full throttle then through that section, so, and he's lost the front wing. So we just saw Denellen go past. What's he going to do? He's going to have no front downforce. That car's not going to turn. I think he's waiting. It's quite dangerous just sitting in the middle of the road. But the lights have gone out in the dash, so we're not too sure what's happened with the engine. Looks like he's parked. It looks like he needs to reset, do a mode reset on the car. He's got no lights on the dash at all. They've gone out on him, so he's stuck there. Looks like he's going to have to retire. I'm trying to listen to the team radio to see what's going on. But he's losing time as he's just sitting there. Looks like he's just retired. Back to the pits. Couldn't get the car restarted, so that's unfortunate for him. Not too sure what went on there. I'll have to find out and let you know on the next round. We see Sarkis back on the charge in P2 and Patterson close behind. It's only half a second behind Sarkis. Can't really see him in front, so I'm not too sure where that timing's correct. No, it's more like 16 seconds. So that's probably, as they've gone through that sector, it's updated. Okay, so mentioned before, if Denellen wants P3, all he's got to do is keep his head down there. You can see it's only a couple of seconds behind Patterson. Michael Denellen's a long-time racer of Racecentre. He's also a real life driver in the Radical series. So he likes to race the Formula 1 and GT3s with us in our leagues. If you want to join in, definitely get in contact with us on Facebook or follow the link in the description. And that'll give you all the information for these Formula 1 leagues. Our next race will be at Portimao. So I'll just bring up the schedule, see what date that'll be. So Portimao will be on the 22nd of October. So that's about two Thursdays away, 2 weeks away. So we'll see you then. Okay, we just saw Troy Kozlowski spinning in front of Michael Donnellan as he's trying to chase down Patterson. The gap's dropped back to 10 seconds. Okay, so Sarkis back in the lane once again. I think that's trip number 6. Let's have a look on the counter. Only 5. Oh, okay, that's different. He's right behind Patterson at the moment, and this is for position. No, it's not. That must be Cutforth in P5. As he lets Sarkis go. It's easier and better to let the faster drivers go so you can get on with your own race then, as he's got to protect his P5 position from Troy Kozlowski. But he's got a bit of work to do to catch Donnellan in P4. 62-second deficit. Go back with Sarkis charging down. Charging down the driver in front, which is Patterson once again. Well, it looks like Sarkis got to unlap himself from Patterson before he can take the P2. So he's a full 1 minute down behind. Stuart Patterson just posting his fastest PB of the race with a 108.522, so he's definitely pushing to stay out in front of Sarkis behind him. We'll go on board with Stuart Patterson. Just see if we can see Sarkis behind him, and there he is. As Patterson comes onto the main straight, we can see Sarkis really pushing hard. So go down the main straight, we can visually see the gaps closing down to a 1.5 second gap now. Not quite close enough to affect Patterson, but he definitely knows he's closing in, as he just took that last lap 0.9 seconds faster than Patterson. It's Pedersen definitely on some fast times at the moment, putting in his PBs. Sarkis definitely closing in now. We can see the gap getting tighter. Sarkis got this thing hooked up. The setups are fixed, but he's definitely showing that he's punching in those fast lap times. You see the wash affecting Sarkis as he got too close, but this is DRS. We can see the wings open. So they both go into turn one. And that's Sarkis. All four carbon rims lit up over 1,000 degrees in temperature, Celsius that is. And that's Sarkis unlapping himself, still in P3. Or the timing sheet's a lie because it looks like Sarkis has moved up into P2 with Pedersen 0.2 behind at the moment. Oh, he's just clipped that curb and gone into the fence. And this is our race leader, Scott Flack, just behind him. Flack just lighting up the rears, trying to get past quickly, but it's Manny's hooked it too much. He's on mediums too, so definitely trying to come through the pit lane less as he selected mediums. Hopefully that'll last him maybe one more stint, or one more set of tyres. Otherwise he'd be coming through for two more set of softs, I'd say, before the end of the race. We are lap 45 of 75, so we're almost 66% of the way through. You see Pedersen just letting Flack through there. "30 laps remaining." It's quite a long race. 46 minutes in. I'd say we're about 50 minutes into the race so far. 56 minutes to be exact. So Sarkis has got to charge hard. He's 61 seconds. At least he's not a full lap behind Black, so he can try and race around and unlap himself or even catch the leader. There's still plenty of time to do it. It's at least 30 minutes to go. Okay, so we can see Todd Foster's actually watching the coverage. It'd be interesting to know what actually happened with the electrical issues that he received, which unfortunately saw him retire at the while in the lead of the race. Just chat to us on YouTube and let the viewers know what actually happened there. Jack Song also not in the race either. He's usually here. We saw him in quali, but I'm not too sure if we saw him enter the race itself. Whether it was that restart that forced his early exit, I'm not too sure. So Scott Flack showing his speed as he's keeping Sarkis in his in view. He doesn't want to let him go because he knows if he does, he'll be able to unlap himself and contest for the lead towards the end of the race. I'd say we've got about one more stop to go. I don't think Scott Flack's going to make it to the end on these meters, but I could be wrong. We haven't really raced here, so we're not too sure what the tyre degradation is on these tyres and how these new upgrades like the current banking we're on at the moment, how that affects the tyre wear. I think it definitely helps in the tyre wear because it's so highly banked. Apparently it's cutting lap times down by 1.5 seconds. According to one of our viewers, Supercar Reviews, so he says he's been on the track personally in a real car, so that'll be an awesome experience. I know they do have big track days out there with McLarens and I think Beamers as well. Yeah, I'm sure like any track they have big track days, and Zandvoort would definitely be a circuit to be on your bucket list, especially now with the new additions to the banking. Scott's lines are pretty good. He's getting through those turns pretty well. We can see the other guys on hards really understeering through that section. Scott going out early to cut in tight so he can get out again. He can't go too far out wide, otherwise he's going to hit that wall, which he almost did. Dropped to 317 in the turn one. Looks like he's catching the back of Sarkis a little bit, but see if we can look back from Sarkis's point of view. We can see Flack just in the distance there. So Sarkis definitely quicker on the lap times. His last time was a 107.738 and Scott Flack lapped at a 108.492. That's about 0.7 difference. Okay, Stuart Patterson still in P3 at the moment. He's dropped off, and Denellen, while still trying to chase, is dropping back a little bit. He's comfortable in P4. Lapping in the 109s. As Patterson in front's last lap was lapped at 1010. Kieran Cutforth in the other half. They're the only two team cars that are still out on circuit, doing a good job representing. He's in P5 at the moment. Chislowski DNF in P6, so that'll be P6 locked in for him. Score some valuable points. Looks like he's getting the tyres up to temp now. He's definitely had these for a few laps, as his lines are really good there. This section's not really burdening the tyres at all. Quite a flowing circuit down the back section here. And now we get into the ones that really challenge these tyres. The front left, he's taking it nice and wide, trying to come in, get a faster exit. Nice and tight so he can get on the gas early, go out wide. This section of the track's really changed a bit. It's less of a chicane. It used to almost turn back on itself through that section there, but definitely Formula Ones wouldn't have been able to get through that section if they left it as tight as it was. GT3, GTMs always provide good racing along here, but Formula Ones, there'd be quite a spectacle to watch them race on this circuit. I dare say we're going to have a few accidents on that race, like we saw in Mugello. Quite a tight circuit, single track really. If we look at the track rubbering up at the moment, we can see where the driving line is. There's no real overtaking opportunities, so there's not much runoff. Once you're off the black stuff, you're running into the marbles, as you just saw cut forth, just going wide there, hitting the marbles and going straight ahead. No real choice. Back in P2 with Sarkis in the Red Bull. Max Verstappen. The crowd's starting to really get behind him now and sense a bit of a chance for the win. Crowds are quite loud. I'm sure Max can hear the crowd through the helmet over the engine. As he comes in the pit yet again. Wow, these fronts aren't lasting long for him. That's another set that's going to cost him a bit of time. Where's Patterson in all this? Is he close enough? Yes, he's taken P2 away. As he's gone back to softs. Sarkis in P3, Denellen in P4. Just bring up the championship standings as they are before this race. Black in front. Foster will probably lose a few points to the lead there in P2. But these guys do have drop rounds, so if they have a bad night, they can always drop that, and they get 4 drop rounds per year. This just allows them, obviously people need to go on holidays and everything because it's such a long league. We all have family commitments and other commitments that we can't make it. So this gives them a chance to stay in the championship. And if they have a bad night like this, I think the game of Thomas Foster crashed on him tonight. So that's pretty much why he had to pull over and finish the race, DNF. A good view of Michael working hard in the cockpit there as he comes onto the main straight. Up to 310, 315 kilometers an hour. Close up view just behind the dash. You can see the gears, his fastest time and his last lap time displayed on the wheel for him. Quite a complex wheel, worth about $90,000 just for the wheel itself. In the full motion sims, you definitely feel when you've got to change, because if you don't change in time, the car tends to lag and push forward. And then you know you're losing forward momentum on the lap, and that means time, valuable time to the guy in front. Now Patterson's come in the pits. He's just rejoining, so not too sure if Denellen will get up into P3 with this. Yes, there he is. So this will go down a strategy. I think I can hear Patterson behind. There he is. This is for position for P3. As Patterson's just come out of pit lane. Not too sure what how Michael's Denellen's tyres are at the moment. He's definitely smoking them up into those turns. Oh, fresher tyres definitely makes a difference. Patterson right behind him. We've got another car in front too. Not too sure if that's going to have an impact on the position. Patterson trying to go up the inside. Definitely feels like he's got a better car under him. He's just got to wait, get close in this section here, which is hard to do, that aero wash. Here it goes. Needs to tuck in to get the advantage, but he's trying to go around the outside, which is really not going to work. Unless he gets... No, because Denellen's on the older tyres, trying to get back on the gas, creating a bit of understeer, which is coming in the path of Patterson, which has spoilt his run there. Looking out the back of Denellen at Patterson. Getting up close. This is only going to cost him time if he keeps doing that. He's not going to get close enough. Just be patient. Choose your spot where you can overtake. And there he goes up the inside. Will he make it stick? There they are side by side. He's trying to go wide. Looks like they were caught up together there. They had the other Haas driver of Cutforth to deal with as well. So Stewart enjoying their fresher tyres as he's pulled it away from Denellen. He's got the other Haas behind him. Coming on the main straight, he should be due for a pit stop. That looked like Patterson coming into the pits. I didn't see any pit lane penalties, but it looks like he's driving straight through, so he might have received a penalty coming out of pit lane. Comes straight in, straight out, so that's given Denellen P3 again. It looks like Flacker's overtaken Sarkis. So Sarkis got a bit of work to do. It's either that or he's pitted, which has given Flack extra time up the front of the race. Adrian really working it. His last lap time was a 106.998, almost the fastest lap of the race, so he's really pushing hard, trying to undo. I know he'll be back to try and better himself for the next race at Portimao, which none of us again have been to. So this will be another learning experience when we head there on the 22nd of October. New track to Formula One in Portugal. Beautiful, beautiful circuit for GT3 at DTM. It's in Algarve in Portugal. See what Speedy pulls at the end of the straight, 3:15, 16. Definitely without DRS, you're about 15 kilometres an hour slower at the end of the straight there, and that's the fastest point of the race, the track I should say. Stuart Patterson posting his PB in the first sector. Let's see from the timing screen. Should be lighting up green. Oh, that was last lap. Posted a fast middle sector. Beautiful day here at Netherlands in Zandvoort, close by the beach. If Scott was to keep going at the end of turn 1, I think he'd end up in the ocean somewhere. I'm sure the beach is over that side. Scott's on the medium, so you know we've got 14 laps to go for the leader, so I'm edging on thinking that he's not going to need to pit again. But Sarkis has got to really drive hard if he's going to have any chance of getting back up to the lead, which I don't think is going to happen unless Scott runs wide there, giving Adrian some free time catching up. Scott's too smart for that. He's still hitting his marks. That's all he's got to do if he's going to take the top step of the podium. It's a shame Foster pulled out while in the lead, because it definitely looked like that was going to be a three-way battle up the front. So he crosses for lap 62. And we can see oh no, that's the wrong car. No, that's the same part. So here's Sarkis is behind. So we see Denellen going through pit lane, allowing Patterson to go back up into P3. So he's gone back to softs. This should be his last set for the end of the race. Really tricky exit to pit lane here. It's like Spa, you really can't really gun it. You have to wait, be patient, especially on cold tyres. The car's not going to turn that well. As we're on board with Stuart Patterson, halfway up the track from Denellen. So, I mean, it is doable, but Patterson's been driving really well and really consistent tonight to deserve P3. His last lap was a 108.5, and Michael Denellen's been lapping in the 108s as well, 109s. Cut 4 still in the race in P5. He's lapping in the 109 flats, so he's doing a good job there for Haas. Bagging some points for the manufacturer title. Really pushing that front end through that section of the course there. I'm sure that's the Roman Grosjean colours number 8, and Magnussen's the number 20. It's the old livery for Haas, but it's without the energy drink sponsorship. I wish this was for position, but Sarkis is a lap behind Scott. But even so, this is going to be a good show for the viewers and the spectators on the circuit. Sarkis definitely should be faster on those soft tyres, and Scott's trying to stretch these mediums out as far as he can, so he's not going to be posting as quick a time as Sarkis. Sarkis lapped a second and a half quicker on that last lap before this, and that's why we see him on the back of the Renault in front. He's got 11 laps to pass Scott and then try and come back round. Hopefully, not too sure whether Scott has to pit again, but that'll be a free 20 seconds for Sarkis. That's going to help him get the position and get the win for tonight. I'd say too many trips down pit lane. I'll just bring it up. How many? Six trips over Scott Black's 2 trips. So that's definitely cost him the race tonight, and he's got to come in yet again. That's amazing. I'm not too sure what's going on there. That's and Flack's back out in front. Is Patterson close enough to take P2 away from? No, as Patterson's at least a lap behind Sarkis, so he has to go a full lap around before he comes back to overtake Adrian in P2. Anyway, so we'll go back to the timings. Denellen quite solid in P4, though he could try and charge Patterson, but that's a 24-second gap in 10 laps time, or probably 9 laps for those guys because they have been lapped. I'll just see how far behind the leader they are. Could be 2 laps down. Yep, so they've only got 8 laps to go. No, that's not right. The leader's done 65, so it's still 10 laps to go regardless. I keep thinking when I've been lapped by a driver, then I've got less laps to complete. The lap counter you can see on screen, that's for the leader itself. As Patterson's really closing up behind Scott Flack. Flack's just letting him go. Not too sure if Flack went off there. Yes, he did. Try and let another driver through. I'm not too sure if they touched and they went off, or whether that just took Scott into the marbles and found himself in the pebble. Looks like Patterson's on fresher set of tyres. He's on, not on his PB, but he's second off the fastest lap, which is pretty good. His fastest lap of the race is a 108.3. About 1.6 seconds behind the fastest lap of Adrian Sarkis in P2. See if Scott's tyres are starting to wear off, if we can see any sign of understeer or struggling to stay on the racing line. Well, here he goes, he's going in the pits, so yes. So he's got to come in for a fresh set. He'll definitely go on the softest compound, as we've only got 9 laps to go. We'll see the tyres change as he does that. So yes, he's gone a sauce, but where's Sarkis? Sarkis has still got a fair bit to go, but now he's unlapped himself and back on the lead lap. I thought Black was going to make it on those mediums, but as earlier predicted, he does need to make at least one more pit stop, but that'll be it for tonight. Now what he's got to do is get the fastest lap of the race so we can gain that point back, get maximum points, which is 21 points if he finishes in front, ahead of Sarkis, who would finish in second with 17 points. If Sarkis keeps his fastest lap of the race, he'll finish with 18. So the difference would only be 2 points for tonight's race for the championship. Starting here, we'll definitely see those sector times light up. I'm expecting to see purple on this lap coming up. Treat this as an outlap as he's just left pit lane. Definitely using all of the circuit. He's definitely on a flyer, trying to get that extra point. Not too sure if the tyres are up to temperature yet. He's only been out for 1 lap, but being a soft compound, they definitely should heat up quicker. That's what they're designed for. They just won't last as long. We see someone in the foreground that may look like Denellen in their Alfa Romeo. That may affect his fastest lap on this lap, but it could also help as he gets in the draft down the main straight. Looks like the timing's right for Scott to use him down the main straight. Just watch behind as Black closes in. Did he get the DRS activated? It's not really close enough, but will he dive under brakes here? It doesn't look like that was Scott's fastest lap. There's a lot of off-track or cut-track warnings, and when that happens, that lap doesn't actually count. So we could have seen him hit the hit an off-track, and then his lap gets deleted. This is all automated, obviously. If they go over the curb the wrong way or too much, then it'll cost him. We see Denellen just giving way to Scott Black. This won't be Flack's fastest lap. Sure, that might have been... looked like a Toro Rosso, which was Liam, but It's not. So my guess is I have all my features in front. Looks like it could have been Sarkis just in front. No, it wasn't Sarkis. Where's Patterson at the moment? Still in P3, doing a great job. You can see the lap times are still up there. So he's got a fresh set of tyres, obviously. He's coming around the what I thought was the last couple of corners onto the main straight. Yes, it is. There's the large banking. We can see he got up to about 310, 312 kilometres an hour by the end of the straight. Scott Flack's posting PBs at the moment. Will he get that extra point on this lap? If not, he's got another couple of laps to go. 5 laps to do it. He hasn't. He's half a second off the fastest lap of the race. So that's a super effort from Sarkis. And the gap's down to 50 seconds. So Sarkis definitely trying. Definitely doing his best. The home crowd giving him extra push. But he's just going to run out of laps, unfortunately. Only 4 laps to go to the end of the race. Just looking at the track, it looks like Denellen and that's Cutforth. I thought that was for position for 4 and 5, but unfortunately Cutforth a further lap back. So Flack's still trying to push for the fastest lap at the moment. Cutting some green sectors, which means it's his personal best. But we really need to see some purple sectors out of Scott if he's going to get that extra point. I dare say this late in the game he won't get it, but I could be wrong. Okay, on board with Kieran Cutforth from New Zealand. Joining us from New Zealand, we've had entrants from Queensland, New South Wales, New Zealand. None from Melbourne tonight, but definitely if you're from Melbourne and you want to join us, please do. You can from home. Just follow the link in the description and then get in contact with us on Facebook. Kieran taking it nice and cautious through turn 1. Looks like he broke quite early, but he's definitely hitting the marks quite well. It's only 2 laps to go. Scott Flack racing with us from the centre here in Sydney on our 4Motion rigs, and this track definitely provides plenty of undulations and change of direction, so the guys really can feel the physics of the car more, feel the understeer. Adrian Sarkis also racing with us from the shop, and so is Michael Denellen. Patterson and Cutforth are racing with us from New Zealand, so definitely an international race tonight, as Formula 1 is, but you can race anywhere around the world, providing you've got good internet. Okay, so Scott's going to take us round. That's a great shot there coming through the curve onto the main straight. Going to take us on our final lap of the race. Good close-up shots from the local crew. Nice helicopter shot from above. Oh, just slightly going off circuit there. Probably get a warning for that one. But being last lap, I don't think that's going to affect the outcome of the race. Scott Flack quite comfortable in P1. Sarkis affected by pit stops and penalties. Unfortunately receiving some X's for cut tracks, which has seen him come through the lane a couple of times now. Couple of corners to go for the winner, Scott Flack. Here he comes, taking the checkered. Quite an easy race for him tonight. It should have been a lot harder with Tom Foster pulling out of the race a bit earlier. And again, Sarkis suffering from a couple of penalties and pit lane trips. So he's definitely going to bring us home for P2. Sarkis crossing the line, taking P2, second step of the podium, which means Patterson has already crossed the line for P3. Michael Donnellan already back in the pits, and Kieran Cutt fourth. So it looks like that's everyone crossing the line. And Scott Flack just giving a wave to the crowd, thanking the flag marshals. Crowd getting a bit rowdy here, wanting to see Verstappen doing better, but at least he's on the podium, so they'll be running up the main straight, waiting for the presentation later on. Okay, so at the end of the race, Scott Flack taking the lead from Adrian Sarkis in P2. Stuart Patterson picking up some great points for his first race in the F1 season in P3. Michael Donnellan finishing P4 in the Alfa Romeo. Kieran Cutt fourth in the second half. Second half in P5. Troy Czeslowski in the Racing Point, finishing P6 with an earlier DNF. And Liam Earl coming into trouble. As we could see, the steering wheel losing power, so I'm not too sure what happened there. But he finishes at P7. Bryce Cross in the McLaren P8. And Thomas Foster, fortunately, finishing P9. Dan Holohan P10. I think Jack Son finishing P11. Once again, thanks for joining us. It is the end of this round. I'll just show you next round. So the next round will be at Portugal on the 22nd of October. So that's a Thursday night. Definitely welcome to join us. To get in touch, follow the description for the link, and then hit us up on Facebook. Get involved. Race with us from home if you like, or if you're leaving Sydney, you can race with us exploring our full motion simulators. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll catch you next time.